Senate orientation set for today, but Senate Leader Chuck Schumer does not want Senator-elect Dave McCormick attending because Democrat incumbent Bob Casey is refusing to concede, even though the race was called days ago. Casey taking to X yesterday, posting the following, quote, "Our Commonwealth ran a free and fair election, and we are still waiting on the final results. Our election officials will continue counting ballots and ensure that Pennsylvanians' voices are heard."
Rich Zeoli is a Philadelphia radio host, and he joins us now. Rich, good morning to you. Great to see you again. Is there any world where Casey actually wins this election?
There is no world, Carly, where Casey wins this election. Even if he spells his name backwards, he's still not winning this election. There's no chance.
Is this all about fundraising, trying to squeeze every last dollar by giving Democrat donors what amounts to, in your words, a false sense of hope?
Yes, Todd, this is exactly what it is. They're trying. The Casey name is a legend in Pennsylvania, right? His dad was governor back in the 90s, one of the last of the moderate Democrats. They're trying to milk this for everything it's possibly worth, squeeze every dime out of the Casey name. They know it's over. There was a ballot dump out of Philly last night. He barely made up any gains. There was a couple thousand votes. There'll be more votes today out of Cambria County. He's not going to win this thing, but they are going to stretch this out. There's another aspect, too, that I wonder about, which is, are they trying to keep Dave McCormick from being able to vote for the Senate leadership, to keep him out of that election? I wonder about that right now, and I'm a little bit concerned about that because this makes no sense. But one of the people that is not happy about what's happening right now is Governor Josh Shapiro.
And why is that? Why is Josh Shapiro not happy about all this?
Carly, he doesn't want to be seen as an election denier. You know, that was a big issue, right? This whole idea that Donald Trump was an election denier, and Shapiro called him out on this. Shapiro's got eyes on 28. Casey's the past, and Shapiro is looking to the future. I mean, he's already getting ready for the fundraising trip to Iowa. He's already getting ready to speak in South Carolina, do that fake Barack Obama accent that he does, you know. He does not want to get mired down in a dispute over whether or not that they are accepting the election results. He wants this to go away as soon as possible.
Okay, yeah, so he just wants it to go away. He wants the race to be called so he can move on with his own personal political ambitions. That's a good point. Okay, well, you bring up Josh Shapiro, so I guess we'll go to this. We've heard the conversations from Democrats about what could have been if we did this or that. Could Kamala Harris have won? Well, there is new polling that shows that if she picked Josh Shapiro, she would have done much better in Pennsylvania and maybe even won the state. So the Harris-Walz ticket won Pennsylvania Jewish voters by 7 percentage points. However, 16% of Jewish voters say they would have voted for Kamala if she picked Josh Shapiro as her VP, and Harris lost Pennsylvania by just 2% of the vote. So what do you think? Do you think that this is the reason she lost Pennsylvania? How do you think Kamala Harris feels about this? How do you think Josh Shapiro feels about this?
Wow, there's a lot to unpack there, Carly. All right, first of all, I don't think she would have won Pennsylvania. However, it would have been closer. And overall, it was the biggest mistake her campaign made, except for the time she went on The View and said she would change nothing. Nothing comes to mind. Not picking Josh Shapiro was a massive blow. Tim Walz brought nothing to the ticket, and Josh Shapiro is a popular governor in Pennsylvania. That said, I still think Trump would have won. But if you look at the Casey McCormick race, and Dave McCormick's going to be an outstanding U.S. senator, but that race is obviously very close. And Trump blew Kamala Harris out of the water in Pennsylvania. So it would have been a lot closer. And, you know, who knows what would have happened along the way that could have changed the trajectory of the race had Shapiro been picked. But not picking Shapiro, I took a sigh of relief that day that he wasn't picked. And what I hear from people is he didn't want to be picked, Carly. He knew this was going to be a losing ticket. He didn't want to be associated with it. So what I've heard is he went in there with all kinds of demands, knowing that they wouldn't pick him. And he basically said, like, I really don't want to leave. And now he's free to run in 28 with a story like this, what you just shared with me, where you can tell everybody, I'm the guy. So get around me. And if you don't get around me, people are going to backfire. You're going to lose the Jewish vote because people are going to say you're anti-Semitic if you don't back me, Democrats. He's got a lot to work with heading into 28.
Yeah, I think this decision really called into question Kamala Harris's decision-making ability.
Yeah.
Combine this with the fact that somehow she blew $1 billion in campaign funding, ending with $20 million in debt.
Imagine being able to blow $1 billion.
Yeah, not this week.
All the shoes.
Rich Zeoli, thank you.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.